So this is a Boomball. It was built by a company called Memorex, or Memorex, I don't really know how to pronounce it. And it's most famously known as the prop for the GameSphere from Drake and Josh. So, why do I have it? Judging obviously by the title that I'm going to give this video, I'm going to stick a GameCube in it. And I'm planning to turn it into the world's first known, that I can find, GameSphere, like actual GameSphere. So, a little different, because I'm trying to change this channel to things I just do projects on instead of like actual fixing things. So, the goal again is just take it apart, put a GameCube in it, and play GameCube games on it, because memes. So I have a GameCube that's sitting on my table that I'm going to use. It's a donor one that I got off eBay a couple days ago, because I don't want to use my personal GameCube in this, because I need to do some things. So the real basic part is put a GameCube in it. It's going to require things like extending memory card slots, rewiring the controller ports. Like I got to do some actual electronic soldering work on it to make this work. So in preparation of that, because I need to understand how much space I have to work with, I'm going to take it apart and we'll kind of go through it just to see what it looks like. And then I'll have different parts up for different things that I'll be doing throughout the project for this. The first part after this probably being getting the disk drive mounted in here. So I'm going to start this off with asking questions to anybody who watches this video. I kind of want to put a wish list together of things that this can do. The real basic part of this wish list that I have so far is it plays GameCube games, and this is your disk lid, and the disk drive is here. So you close this, it acts as you closing the lid on the GameCube, and that's it. That's kind of all I've got. There's a bunch of other things I had in mind, but I don't really know if I want to do them or not, so I'd like to hear input on them. A few of them are integrated power supply, because there's a power cord that sits here above the batteries. I can't use batteries. I don't want to power this by battery, so I need space here, so this is coming out. But there's a power cord that sits here, so I thought about maybe integrating a GameCube power supply into here, so that you only have to carry one cable, kind of like any modern game console that has its own power supply built in. Not entirely sure about that yet, because if I have to replace the power supply at some point down the line, I don't want to take it apart as opposed to just plugging in a new one. But again, want to hear feedback. Another one I had is there's a headphone jack in the front. And it is actually relatively easy to get audio input from the AV port on a GameCube wired into a headphone jack. But I'd have to have some kind of volume control amp, which I could do. But again, space requirements and not being like the bare necessity needed to make this be a GameCube, I'm not sure if that's something I want to do. But it's thoughts. I thought about putting the power LED here, right, just to spice it up so it's down here instead of somewhere else. So again, I'm looking for feedback. And then one of the last things I thought of was where to put the controller ports. Right, logic dictates they go somewhere here. Memory cards again right below them or somewhere else. I had the idea of taking out these big four main buttons for pause, play, stop, and forward and back on the tracks to replace these with the controller ports if they'd fit, but I feel like that kind of ruins the look of it. So again, I don't entirely know. I don't really like that idea all that much, but feedback. And then again, should these buttons do anything, right? The power button, I'm going to make the power button because it's nice and simple. It's a latching switch just like the GameCube, so it should be relatively easy. And then another one of these will become reset. But I don't know what to do with the rest of these. I don't know what to do with the screen. I'd like to leave the antenna in here for visuals. But other than that, I'm beyond all that. I don't really know what I'd like to see out of this. So I want to ask people who are watching this video, what do you want to see? Do you want to see the basics? It just plays GameCube games and that's it. Do you want to see, LEDs or something? Do you want to see a new screen that does something with Arduino code that does something? Do you want to find a way to integrate Game Boy player functionality into it? I don't really know how I do that, but again, I will figure it out. So let me know. Write in a comment. Let me know what you think you'd want to see out of this, because I would appreciate some thoughts and stuff on it. But for now, the goal is just take it apart, throw out the electronics that don't work, and I know how much space I have to work with. So we'll start with that. There were a few screws on the back. I actually did take this apart a little while ago, the other day, just to kind of see, because I got really excited about it. So one of the screws is actually lodged in a spot where there is not a screw hole right down here. It looks like it should be a screw hole, but it's not. And I can't get the screw out. So I'm gonna get it out at some point, but for now, there's one less screw to take out than you can probably see. So let's get all these out and take a look at what's inside. So there's no good place to put the lid. I'm trying to be really careful with this, at least for like the outside stuff, because this is the only one I have and I spent quite a lot of money on it. So you can plug this from the power supply. So the back is relatively open, which is actually really good. There's the plug from the wall that I guess this is a transformer of some kind. I'm thinking we could put like a power supply somewhere in here and then that routes to the GameCube up front. We'll figure it out. But so the back has just a step down transformer, I'm assuming, and then a power board with a fuse in it, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna reiterate, this doesn't work. So I don't want anybody feeling bad that I'm like taking apart like kind of like, I feel like it's historic. A lot of people grew up with Drake and Josh, but so let's take out this main board. I also think that somebody's been in here because there's only 2 screws, but there's 4 screw holes. And then this is a cable. Ooh, that capacitor's broken. Another one. So that's the main board, and then everything else here is soldered. Plug these. CD player and stuff doesn't work. I'm just gonna cut the board free. I don't plan on reusing anything in here. Antenna wires. Okay, so the main board is out, destroying a bunch of stuff in the process. We'll worry about that later. I wanted to try and get the lid off, but it's just another day. So this won't come out until more things are out. So let's get the speakers off. The speakers also just so happen to be hot glued in place. So kind of hoping the glue is just old and I can break them off, but yeah, it's actually exactly what it is. Okay, so the black part, aside from this, is all one housing. So I think I gotta get the boards out and then all of that lifts up. Okay. This is the broken disk drive. Comes out. Okay, we're getting some space back. think this is the lid switch, but I don't know how that works. Oh, you know what? I do see it. Okay. I can probably reuse that. That's great. There it is. And then this. That seems to be what I can get out. I don't want to risk getting the foot off. So, that was a pain. Looking at it right now, I honestly think we have plenty of room to do this. We'll have to I'm gonna take the stuff out in the back. And then this middle screw mount might have to come out, but I don't know. They definitely have enough space to work with. I'm going to remove the stuff in the back housing. All of the screws and everything I'm going to keep. I'll put them actually in here, and that way they're then secured by the battery cover. And then we can get started. So my first step, I think, is to get the disk drive mounted. I have one. So we got to get the GameCube drive mounted. Definitely will fit. Obviously, it needs to be trimmed, but it will fit. This is also getting replaced. I'm going to that in probably a different video, but the laser, the disk drive doesn't spin, something that's very common in old GameCubes. In this case, it's missing its focusing lens. I can't fix that, and on the chance that something is also wrong with the motor, because it doesn't spin, I'm getting a new one. I'm just gonna replace this whole housing, but we can use this for sizing and cutting and whatnot. So my plan is for the next video, we'll find a way to size out the opening for this, and then find a way to get it mounted into the case here, and then we'll worry about getting like ports and signals and stuff sent. So thank you for watching. Please comment if you have any kind of suggestions or wish list items for what this is going to become. If there's anything extra you want to see other than just the GameCube. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and please stick around for this. I think it'll be a fun one. I'm gonna do my best to get things kind of routinely uploaded. So thank you for watching, and come by for the next one.